January 4th, a day for the last, I don't know now, 20 years. You look at Wrestle Kingdom's only been like, what, 13 of them? Here's the 14th. You know what we're talking about, people. This is Wrestle Kingdom, number 14. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster. Welcome to the first Simplin Predictin Wrestling video of 2020. With me tonight, we are TeamIndyDQ, here to bring you our insight, outtakes, and overall excitement and picks for Wrestle Kingdom in its entirety. This year will be a special two-night event, simply named the Double Gold Dash. Before we get into all that, of course, let me introduce you to the TeamIndyDQ crew. First off, he's different. He is great when it comes to graphic design, and he helps run his own wrestling federation. It's the Archangel, James Hebert. James, how are you? It's been a while.
It's been too damn long because school makes me not have social life and I get sad.
Well,
I'm back.
It's nice when at least have us 2 weeks of the year. At least that's my case, but I digress. Not about me.
Yes,
and also,
I am here. I am back. Let's go.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Yep. And also joining us, of course, it is our recent newcomer to TeamIndyDQ. He got a strong showing at the end of last year's league. Now let's see how he can put it together for an entire year. Please welcome Mark, the reviews. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to get these predictions in, and I want to personally thank you, Noah, because we actually were talking this morning. I was getting ready to spend $50 and buy the two-night events, but I decided I couldn't do it because I couldn't even afford it. And then he came up and he said something about paying $10 and getting the whole event. And if it wasn't for me seeing that, I wouldn't even been able to watch it. So, like I said, thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to predicting the whole show.
My pleasure. And also, of course, we have, she keeps it real. You know you're in for something, but she takes a sip of tea. It is, of course, one of my closest friends in TeamIndyDQ, and the one that got me into independent wrestling, if I'm being honest with you, the lovely Cindy G. Cindy, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me again for this yearly Wrestle Kingdom, especially starting off with a prediction video for the new year and the new decade.
Yes, indeed, and what a kickoff. And, of course, if you haven't figured out by now, have you not been watching this channel, we are, of course, the Simple Holiday, because he's a family man. He has an old-school mentality for wrestling. He has become strong in independent wrestling. And he's just a good-hearted fellow that always seems to come up with more content than I can keep track of. It's, of course, my good friend, the Holiday, and current, I must add, IWGP TeamIndyDQ champion, Mr. Christopher Mace. Chris, how are you?
Had a long day at work, but I'm excited about this. Get to see James again, Cindy, get to see my co-host on NWA Power, Mark, get to see my co-hosts are 205 Live Matter. So, hey, this is a great opportunity. It's going to be fun. Got to see if I can defend this title. I finally won it. Took me to the end of the year. Thought I won it a few months ago. Cindy beat me by one. I actually got it this time. So now let's see if I can retain it this time.
Yep, because we are all kicking off, all 7 of us, and shout out to, of course, those who couldn't make it tonight due to being on assignment. Just kidding. They're hardworking men. Good brother Christopher Willis, and, of course, Pokemon fan endeavor himself, big old Chris Cass. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. As I said, this is very special.
Wait, before you do, about NWA Power, Chris, Mark, have me on. I love that show right now. It's like one of my favorite wrestling shows right now. Is NWA Power.
By now, TeamIndyDQ, we're much more than just the WWE and sports entertainment. No offense. Anyway, I knew that would get him in a better mood. Anyway, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Wrestle Kingdom is literally mere hours away. But why did I decide to do this mere hours away? Simple. It's not about me. It's about wrestling. Why not do it with some of my closest friends? And it's TeamIndyDQ's opener. Come on. So let's go ahead and get started. Double Gold Dash, 2-day event. We are going to go through this entire show. Let's first start off with an acknowledgement. We're not going to count it, of course, as part of the Predictions League because we're not going to be able to see it, but it has to be a tremendous step forward. You got to start somewhere with the fact that they are actually putting on a women's match on Wrestle Kingdom. So with that, I just want to go around the horn and get some brief thoughts on this tag that actually has some storyline contingency to it because it does showcase a rivalry. It's a 2-on-2 exhibition match between current World of Stardom champion Mayu Utami. You might recognize her from Ring of Honor. I remember she faced Kelly Klein G1 Supercard. James, damn it, lucky. Anyway,
Yes.
she's teaming up with Wonder Stardom champion Ariso. Apologies if I butcher these names. Hoshikai. And they are taking on their current rivals in, I think you say, Gulia and Hana Kimura, representing Cyber Tokyo Squad. So with that being said, let's just go around and give everyone's brief thoughts about this match and who you think's going to win. And Chris, I'll start with you.
Oh Lord, you had to start with me first. Oh no. This is interesting. This is a historic event because this would be the first time to actually have a women's match on a New Japan show. Even though it is a dark match, I wish they'd be able to see it live. But hey, baby steps they got to work with. So I'm not gonna butcher all these names. And folks, everybody knows me. I'm horrible at butchering names. Forgive me now, but I'm gonna go with the team that Noah said first because I'm not butchering these people's names as bad as I did the last time.
You can just say Team Mayu or Team Hana. I'll keep it simple for you. With that being said, James, what about you?
So I think it's awesome that they're actually, instead of trying to build a whole division from scratch, they wanted to partner up with one of the Japanese promotions that actually is a huge proponent of women's wrestling. Stardom's been doing women's wrestling for years. Some of the greatest have come out of Stardom. Yep. Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, Asuka, just to name a few. And there's so much more that has come from that just general area. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds when it comes to the actual Stardom and New Japan partnership. I would love to see the Stardom Championship defended on a New Japan show in the future. I think that's coming sooner rather than later. Just because they're on a dark match now, I think they're easing their fans into this. I don't think they want to rush into it because I think the New Japan fans are well aware Stardom's been around for years, so this is just kind of introducing them now on, a bigger stage as opposed to, not being exposed at all. I think Stardom has always needed to get their due, and now they're finally getting their due. Even if it's not televised, it will eventually get televised, and I'm looking forward to seeing the future of this partnership.
So who's your pick? That was a great, by the way, statement.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Just because I don't know too much about them, but I like their name, I'll go with the Cyber People.
Cyber Tokyo Squad.
Cyber Tokyo Squad.
Mark, what about you?
I will say I'm glad that Stardom is getting a little bit of exposure. Some people were disappointed that it was a dark match, but regardless, it's a step in the right direction. As far as the pick goes, I'm right on board with everybody else as far as butchering the name, so I will go with, I guess, the Cyber People is what we're going with. So put me on board for that one.
All right, Team Hana, and I'm just going to balance it out and go with Team Mayu because I respect Mayu Utami. She's one of the longest running competitors there in Stardom. She's held pretty much all the titles, including the Stardom Artist Tri-Champions. It's like the Trios titles. And, of course, she even held the Women's of Honor World Championship and faced one of my favorites from there, Kelly Klein. So I'm going with Team Mayu Utami. With that being said, Cindy, you're not only a huge fan of independent wrestling, but I know how strong you are about women's professional wrestling and how the moment that Puncher Redacted really affects you emotionally. Now, this is also a huge step for women's professional wrestling, not just in Japanese, but as a whole. So with that being said, James pretty much, I think, took your statement that you probably were going to go off, but I still want to hear your thoughts and your pick. That's why I saved you for last. Who do you got?
Okay, yes, because I do have a lot to say about this because, well, when Stardom has been purchased by Bushiroad around the summertime of last year, which is also a parent company for New Japan Pro Wrestling, so that is like a big stepping stone because they're going to get a lot of more exposure like around the globe, especially for the Western audience. They just announced not too long ago they're going to be doing a U.S. tour also starting in Southern California for Stardom. With that being said, when I found out that this match is going to be on Wrestle Kingdom, that is going to be a bigger stepping stone. But when it said it's going to be in the dark match, honestly, and this is coming from me, and I did have this conversation with good brother Chris, this is not a really good start at all for Stardom, especially with New Japan alike. I know there has been a lot of mixed opinion about it. For me, it should have been in the live TV, but I can understand why, because you have some of the stars that some of the general public who does not keep up with Storm don't know who they are, except for Mayu Iwatani, because, like you said, she was in Ring of Honor. And I'm not 100% sure if she was in AEW before, but I'm not sure. But if it was for somebody else that is really notable, especially for the Western audience, like Bea Priestley or
Jamie Hayter was
Kogetsu, Jamie Hayter, Session Moth Martina, of course, Zoe Lucas, then that's going to be glued into this particular match, especially having like a strong build. But, you know, it is what it is. That is New Japan's decision. Also, Bushi's Road's decision as well. I just hope that the women are going to get more, like, you know, exposure in the near future, and maybe in the next New Japan bigger pay-per-view, Dominion, in the summertime. But with that being said, for my pick, honestly, since this is just a dark match, I'm just going to go with Team Cyber Tokyo Squad. That's it.
Team Hana. All right. And good brother Chris, he said Mayu Itami and Arisa Osiga, so he's Team Mayu. All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that.
If I could interject with what Cindy said, actually, I did want to address her point of how it isn't a good start. Not that I disagree with you. It probably should be televised. What's the harm? But playing devil's advocate, I think this is what their mindset is. New Japan they've always tried to do a women's division, and they've just did not have the talent to do so. And they want to make sure that what they're purchasing is worthwhile to put on New Japan Pro Wrestling Television. They always want the elite there. It's always been that way. No pun intended, by the way. I mean, look at the stars we have in New Japan now, just on the male side. They want to see that same kind of star power or potential star power and potential wrestling ability in Stardom. That way, if they know, okay, well, these women are really, really good, let's start putting them on TV. That's why I said it's good that they're not rushing into it, because all too often you see, like Ring of Honor, for example, rushed way too quick with their women's division, and they had no base to do so. And it's suffering now because of it, because they think, oh, wow, these women aren't getting, ratings because they didn't build them up properly, so they ended up getting, freaking Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, and the freaking Peanut Gallery, and paired them up as a freaking faction. So
okay, let's not
this
go.
Is what this
again. AEW scene. So we're just gonna leave it at that as well.
Yeah.
No, and that's why I'm saying let's wait and see how it plays out before we say it's not a step in the right direction. Unlike New Japan, I think they want women's unlike WWE, I should say, they actually want women's wrestling. Mm-hmm. They're just doing it I think they're trying to pace themselves as opposed to, all right, let's just go in guns blazing. That's the New Japan method with everything, really.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why they build stars organically. But if you all don't know the New Japan dojo system, or LA Dojo, just go to the archives or columns and look up names like Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and even a person we'll talk about soon, Kazuchika Okada. But I digress. Anyway, thank you all for your thoughts. And to those that are wondering why we just spent some time on this, we care about Japanese pro wrestling, and we want to see Stardom grow. Simple as that. So, good luck to the women. Have a great match. And shout out to Kagetsu, who is retiring. All right, let's go ahead and get now into a little bit of some quicker matches, because the pre-show's got some opening matches and tag battles. We also got some faction warfare, which is, of course, at the heart of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So let's go ahead and I figure we'll knock these out pretty quick. These tag matches. They're going to start with two opening tag matches for night one. Our first tag match features the team of Yuya Uemura, Yoshitashu, Tamaki Homa, and Toga Makabe versus Alex Coughlin, Clark Connors, Carl Fredericks, and Toru Hanare. All 8 of these men, kind of truly. Yep, LA Dojo. Well, 6 of these men really are out to prove a point, since 2 of them represent the New Japan Dojo, and Cindy, you got yours that represent the LA Dojo. With that being said, and you're wearing the shirt, I'm going to start with you. Which team is your pick?
Well, this is going to be like an up-and-comer star, which they're with Hanare, which he was in New Japan for like 2+ years. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they're taking on like the notable veterans too, and like the New Japan dojo stars. So with that being said, I'm going with Team Hanare with the LA Dojo boys, especially with Carl Frederick. He did win the 2019 Young Lions Cup.
Damn it.
So So
Yeah.
definitely, I feel like he's definitely going to be with outshine everybody, and maybe he's going to be going on an excursion probably sometime this year, just like with Shota Umino, who is on excursion with Rev Pro.
And Ren Narita, who decided to be trained now under Katsuri Shibata at your LA dojo. But I digress.
Nice.
Mark, what about you?
I think I'm gonna go with the team that has Coughlin, Carl Connors, and Carl Fredericks. That's why I'm gonna go with.
All right, so Team Inari.
Same with Mark's pick. I'm going with them.
All right. Chris, what about you?
We're all in agreement. We're all picking the same so far.
Is it because Kokeshi doesn't make you happy? Is that what this is about?
I was impressed with Carl Fredericks, so that's why.
All right. You sold me too. I'm going with Team Hanari. With that being said, good brother Chris, he picked Team Makabe. And
Really, Chris? You're going against our beloved Carl Fredericks?
That's between you two, okay? I know y'all have your own like personal rivalry going with bets and stuff, but that's between you two. And also, Chris Cass is going with Team Makabe. They're the 2-on-1s out. All right. Moving on from there, another tag team opener, Blue Justice, who just celebrated, I believe, his 35th year in wrestling. Yuji Nagata and his partner, Manabu Nakanishi, versus a team from the World Tag League, Tenkozi. Not the strongest scorer, but they certainly tried, which consists of Satoshi Kojima and Hiroyoshi Tensen. James, who's your pick for this?
I gotta be honest. I feel like I'm gonna butcher the names. What are the teams?
You can pick Tenkozi, which might be simple for you, or you can pick Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata, and Manabu Nakanishi.
I'll go with Blue Justice.
All right. Chris, what about you?
Blue Justice.
Blue Justice. Why does that sound like a superhero name? Anyway.
It does.
Sounds like to me too.
Well, it does. Cindy, come on now. Give me a break.
It does sound like one. Hold on. You guys keep going. I might have to eat dinner in a minute.
Okay. Let's see here. Chris Cass, he picked the team of Tenkozi and good brother Chris. Let's see what he picked. He picked Team Tensen. All right. Mark, what about you?
I'm down for Tenkozi.
All right, Tenkozi. Cindy, did Tenkozi impress you during the World Tag League, or are you going with Blue Justice?
I'm going with Tenkozi.
All right. And I gotta admit, I just want to see how many times Satoshi Kojima slaps the hell out of Yuji Nagata's chest. And it's for that reason I'm going with Team Tenkozi. I mean, he did face Shingo Takagi in his first heavyweight bout this year back at Dominion. Respect the legend. Well, they're all legends, but I like Satoshi Kojima. All right. Now we finally get into the main card after our statement of stardom and our opening thoughts.
Did you read Big Kaz's pick for that match?
Yeah, I did. He went with Tenkozi.
Okay. All right.
You're fine. All right. First off, can we not give enough respect and appreciation for everything Jushin Thunder Liger has given to the wrestling industry? Thank you so much for 30 years. All the best. Suppose that. With that being said, he's going out in style. Both these nights in special matches. We got a match that pretty much unites rivals, now friends, now inspirations, etc. 8-man tag. Jushin Thunder Liger with Tatsumi Fujinami, the great Sasuke, boy, are they being the hell out of each other, and Tiger Mask 4, who he's one tag gold with El Samurai versus Naoki Sano, Shinjiro Otani, Tatsuko Takigawa, and of course, the funky woman himself, Ryusuke Taguchi. And they'll have, of course, Kunakai Kobayashi in their corner. And the referee for this match is Norio Honaga. Now, I feel like it almost seems pretty obvious here that you think, oh, Liger's going to win. It's a send-off, right? Because really, this is just a celebration match. That's all he wants to do here. He wants to send the people home happy. He talked about in his speech how overtime is, brings people down, makes them feel sad. But I want to send the people home happy. So this is his first bout. And that's why I'm going with Team Liger for the win. Cindy, what about you?
Well, this is going to be a pretty interesting match, especially bringing in the old school of New Japan in the mix. It's been an honor and privilege witnessing Jushin Thunder Liger's match when he came to California, the one for the night 2 of the Super J Cup during the tag team match versus Roppongi 3K. And he did I believe it was part of a tag team match as well at the night 1 of New Japan Showdown. So it was an honor to witness him. I wish me and good brother Chris could have met him, but I know one of our dear friend Jake, which you may see him in my vlog, got the honor and the privilege to meet Jushin Thunder Liger at an independent wrestling show back in 2018. So it's awesome to see his proper stand-up, especially for this. So I'm going with Team Liger.
All right. Mark, what about you?
I think I'm going with Team Liger as well. I think it's awesome that they're giving him this platform at Wrestle Kingdom to kind of go out. But I can't bet against him the first night. I can't say the same for the second night, but at least the first night, I'm definitely going with Liger's team.
All right. And good brother Chris said hashtag thank you Liger. Satire emoji twice. He also went with Team Liger. No one should be surprised with that. And Kaz also went with Liger. I feel like right here, night 1, you just have to give it to Liger. Truth be told, he's united with rivals, now friends. He's united with tag partners. He's united with people that have bloodied him, ripped his mask off, caused him to pull out even Christian Liger at times, for those that watch New Japan Pro Wrestling back in the 90s. But with that being said, I could talk about Liger all night. That's not what you're here for. Maybe I'll do that another time. With that being said, going back to the fact you watched WCW with him, Chris, who's your pick?
I watched this man wrestle in WCW. I know about his history. We talked about it on the NWA 2019 review. We talked about when they introduced his other personality when he needs it back in 1995. This man's done everything in New Japan that he wants to do. He did a great career in WCW. It saddens me he only had one appearance in NXT, but at least he did that one appearance in NXT. In this for day 1, Jushin Thunder Liger is going to get the win here. His team's winning.
Yeah, and I still keep watching Jushin Thunder Liger versus Minoru Suzuki, where Minoru wanted Yamada, and he got Yamada. That match still is just, to me, one of my favorite matches of 2019. James, you're the last one. Who do you pick in this Jushin Thunder Liger retirement 1? Team Liger or Team Taguchi?
I'm going with Liger, man. I can't go against Liger. I can't go against Liger's team. I think he's got this match in a singles match, right?
No, the following night he has another tag match, but it's just 2-on-2. Basically representing the future of junior heavyweights, which of course we'll get into. All right, so we're all unanimous. That was pretty simple. I mean, again, what can we say besides hashtag thank you Liger? And for those of you that with Liger,
I'm so happy I got to see him live, by the way. I almost lost the opportunity. I'm glad I got to.
Lucky! Again! And you got to see him go face-to-face with the Great Muta!
Dude, that was a wild experience. By the way, fuck you, Ring of Honor. You made Kenny King go over Jushin.
Hey, you got more in the eyes, all right? Moving on. Now we get into some battles, of course, of one-upsmanship and faction warfare. Our first battle is, of course, Team Los Ingobernables. I should put you that. Japón versus, I'm biased, Team Suzuki-gun. It is Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Evil. Chris. Versus Taiji, the King, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. Now, clearly we know at the forefront of this is Zack Sabre Jr. and Sonata. But we also have a bunch of other things that can happen here when you think about Bushi. He got one up on Zack Sabre Jr., and then you got Evil, who's basically like, just kind of out there right now. And Sonata is facing Zack Sabre Jr. the following night. But with that being said, I'm not going against the King. I'm going with Team Suzuki-gun. Chris, what about you?
I love Evil, and everybody knows I love Evil, but I'm actually going to agree with you, No, on that.
All right. Well, let's see what good brother Chris said. He said LIJ. So let's see if him and Cindy are on the same page. Cindy, what about you?
Well, I know there has been a report that Minoru Suzuki is going to be leaving New Japan. This is maybe going to be his final Wrestle Kingdom 14, Wrestle Kingdom appearance before like make a decision if he's going to be leaving New Japan or not due to personal reasons. But I mean, Lij and Suzuki Gun has been going at it for quite a while now. But I'm gonna go with my pick. I'm gonna go with the obvious one, especially from the reports have been like speculating, especially like I know Taiji has been injured like pretty much half of a little bit of 2019, and so is El Desperado too. I figured why not have Suzuki Gun to win this match.
Yeah, and again, you're right about Minoru Suzuki because it's even been said 2 names are rumored that he could go back to. Well, 1 name that he could go back to. 1 could surprise you. He could go back to Pro Wrestling Noah, which he's very well known for because besides the Driven from the Liger program, he just really hasn't been that happy on the match with Okada. Or, this is just wild, another name thrown out there, AEW. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit because 2020 is bringing a lot of optimistic speculation. But we'll save that for later.
Unsanctioned match between Moxley and Minoru Suzuki, please.
All right, let's wait till we get to Dontaku or Dominion or King of Pro Wrestling for that, James, but I understand where you're coming from. With that being said, James, who's your pick to win this match?
Okay, so I know that this has been built up for a long time now, and I don't know if this is being considered. Isn't there like some inner family beef going on with Suzuki Gun right now when it comes to Sabre Jr. and everybody in that group specifically?
To be fair, that whole group's unstable. Who knows at this
point? Yeah, I think just for that reason, I'm picking Lij because the story I feel like they're going to be telling is it's finally coming to a boiling point with everybody in Suzuki Gun. So I got to go with Sonata, Evil, and
all right.
The others. Is it Tetsuya or is he?
No, Tetsuya Naito is not in this because you know what he's going to be involved in. We're going to talk about that, of course, a little later. With that being said, Chris Cass, he also picked Lij. But then again, Cindy, you told me it's an Lij, Mark. Your words, not mine. With that being said, Mark, who's your pick to win this match?
I went back and forth 3 or 4 times since we started talking about it. I think I'm going to go. I'm just going to go on my gut, and I'm going to go Suzuki Gun.
Sometimes going with your gut's the best thing you can do. And think about this. Last year, Minoru Suzuki was already pissed off enough as it is, not even being on the main card. At least he is this time.
Mm-hmm.
One more battle of faction warfare before we finally get to the meat of day 1. Chaos versus, put it up, folks, Bullet Club. It is the headhunter, Yoshihashi, Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto versus the Crown Jewel, Chase Owens, the Tokyo Pimp, Yojiro Takahashi, if he's not still injured. I hope he's okay. The Rogue General Balak Fale, and the never overweight champion, Kenta. Now, obviously, the story here is Hiroki Goto versus Kenta for the never overweight title. That's going to occur day 2. But then you also have Toru Yano, who has been known to play hashtag Spoiler Master this year for a number of reasons. With that being said, I'm thinking about could the result of this match impact night 2 at all? Because Good Brother Chris had a very interesting idea. And I kind of agree, but I think it's going to be long run. I'll talk more about that later. With that being said, I am going to go with, because Toru Yano is unpredictable, I'm going with, what about you?
Well, it cut out whatever your pick was, so I
it did.
Oh, sorry. I said chaos. I guess chaos is a forbidden word, Dan movies. Anyway, Cindy, what about you?
Well, it is a pretty interesting way to go, but I don't know if Yujiro will be there because by the time of the recording of the video, there has been no report if he's still injured or not. But if that's the case, if there's going to be any substitution, it could be either Jaido or maybe Haku Leo or maybe a surprise guest that we haven't even seen. Who knows? Anything can happen in Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan. But with that being said, I know that Goto and Kenta has some settled to score for night 2. I mean, and I know there has been a rumor that, I think Goto is trying to leave New Japan also. So I don't know what's going on with anybody that is leaving New Japan, especially with the CEO situation too. But I digress. With that being said, I'm actually going to go with Bullet Club for the
All
win.
right. And let's see here. Good brother Chris. Looks like you two are too sweet. He also went with Bullet Club. Chris, what about you?
Oh Lord, this was a tough one. This is one of the tough ones I had thinking about, but after really thinking about it with everything, I'm gonna go with Bullet Club on this one.
All right. James?
I'm actually going to go for Chaos, and I'm going for Chaos because if Takahashi's in it, he always takes the fall. He always takes the fall.
Poor Yoshihashi, the
God.
headhunter. He had one great
Get a
match.
win.
He had one great match against Kenta during Fighting Spirit Unleashed, and he just couldn't get the job done. Mark, what about you?
I got Chaos now.
All right. And
You listen to my sound advice about it. It's Yoshihashi. If Takahashi is in it, he's always going to take the fall.
all right. It's either going to be Takahashi or Yoshihashi, the way y'all are making it sound. So, okay. With that being said, James, you said Chaos, right?
Yeah, I said Chaos.
Yeah, Togo Pimp. Well, if nothing else, everyone will get to see Peter. All right.
I mean, I can't deny that.
Anyway, now we get into the meat of the card. Nothing but title matches, and you guys hold your own destiny as we finish night one out, because what you say night one could kick you out of night two's later card for up to 3 matches. With that being said, let's go right into it, starting with one that won't really affect anybody. First off, IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. The Gorillas of Destiny versus Thin Juice Robinson and David Finlay. David Finlay, of course, coming back from injury. He's coming back from injury, back from the Rising Tour, and he and Juice Robinson, they win, surprisingly to me, but Cindy,
Just
you called
make
it.
it a part of Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Damn it,
hey, they're their main unit. Some people are not faction. They're just their own thing. They're just New Japan. Anyways, they won the World
I'd
Tag
rather them
League.
be a part of Chaos than have the team named Thin Juice. Okay? There's a problem here.
We can talk more about that later. Maybe we could draft New Japan later on. But with that being said, Finn Juice, they won the World Tag League. They get the title shot. But GOD, they're out to do one thing and one thing only. Not just defend these titles successfully, as they've had practically this whole year nearly, but they have yet to win at Wrestle Kingdom. Could they finally break the jinx?
Exactly.
With that being said, Mark, who do you got?
I'm definitely going with GOD. 10 confidence points. There's no way that they're going to lose again. I don't see it.
All right.
The fact that they have such a horrible record is insane to me because they're like one of the best tag teams in the world.
Oh, bar none
right now. So, yeah, no, they have to win. I mean, come on. Throw them a bone here.
Well, I guess I don't have to ask James. You're GOD all the way.
I'm GOD all the way, my dude.
Chris, are you?
I'm going to go against y'all. So I have a wild, crazy theory, and I'm going to take a chance that I'm going with Juice and Finlay to win the tag, become new tag champions.
You know how much I respect Rails of Destiny. I saw their ladder war live in Toronto against the Briscoes, and as far as I know, those two teams respect each other. Imagine the Briscoes join New Japan, but I digress.
Yes.
With that being
I think the Briscoes are now that I think the Briscoes will for a part-time basis if we're talking about New Japan of America.
Potentially, there's a lot of potential there, too. There's so much potential with New Japan right now at 2020, despite the fact they aren't going to be on Access TV. And there's more issues also there with that. But with that being said, I'm going to go against history and hope for a moment here. I'm going with GOD. Cindy, you have worn a Gorillas of Destiny strip before in a video, and most predictions I've done with you with a GOD match, you've picked them. But you also picked the team that won the World Tag League. So let's see how fickle you are. Who do you got?
Well, I'm going against y'all because honestly, I feel like it's time for like a new, fresh face for the company. Especially like we got a lot of like tag teams that are like heels. Especially the fact that Dave Finlay has been injured through half of 2019. So I'm going to be going with Finn Juice to be the new IWGP Tag Team Champion.
And Chris Cass, he went with GOD, so it's 4 GOD to 3 Finn Juices, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, I get it. There's a lot of heel tag teams, but also keep this in mind, folks. Last year at Wrestle Kingdom, every title changed hands. Do you really think that's going to happen again?
I mean, hey, maybe. Who knows? But hey, for the record, with the whole team name, just imagine if Orange Cassidy took himself seriously, the team name would not be a problem. Because then you could just pair Orange Cassidy with Juice Robinson and call them Freshly Squeezed Done. I just sold you like 500,000 T-shirts.
And just like that, James just changed the world potentially for 2020.
Yeah. And completely went off subject.
Yep.
As I always do.
That's good to have you back. All right. Okay, this is going to be...
That's such a lie.
This is going to be fucking insane. Lance Archer versus Jon Moxley for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship in a Texas death match. The only way to win this is knock out your opponent for a 10 count or submit them. No DQ, no countouts, no pinfalls. This match was brought on when Moxley could not defend the title key of pro wrestling due to other nature. So we had impromptu Lance Archer versus Juice Robinson, also in NoDQ, and Lance Archer, now known as the Murder Hawk, basically, Monster Murder Hawk, he won, became champ, and has had it since. He's had one defense against David Finlay, successfully defended it. And based on his promo, he sold me that he is dead serious. Not only does he want to keep this title, he wants Moxley to fucking die. With that being said, we've all talked about the promo. We all know Lance Archer. We've all seen how he basically broke out this year in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Mm-hmm. So, with that, I'm just going to say right now, Chris Cass, as a kickoff, he picked Lance to retain. So, James, what do you see happening here? And keep in mind, folks, your pick here could determine if you participate in Night 2's match or not. Because the winner of this will defend the title against Juice Robinson, no matter what.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm actually in the process of thinking now, but I'm just going to blurt out and say Moxley. I don't think Moxley's going anywhere from New Japan. Everybody's like, well, people can't go to New Japan because they're with AEW. Keep in mind, Jericho has been in New Japan for, the last year, so is Moxley. I don't see him going anywhere. I think he's going to be working for both New Japan and AEW pretty much respectively going forward. So I'm just going to pick him to win and defend his title against Juice Robinson, the rematch we haven't gotten yet. But I'm just very confused. It's in Tokyo, not Texas. Shouldn't it be called the Tokyo Deathmatch? Why is it?
Well, keep in mind, Lance is from Texas.
That's the thing.
Oh, so it's a gimmick thing. Okay.
Yeah, basically his own game. And Texas Death Matches is a thing. I mean, Impact Wrestling has done them. Multiple wrestling companies.
What weapons are going to be used in this match then? Is my because what's going to be different between the unsanctioned match we saw between him and Omega at Full Gear and this? What is there going to be like cowbells, leather whips? What are we going to see? I'm now concerned for the health of Jon Moxley.
Look, as long as there's no exploding C4 barbed wire in the building, I'll be fine with whatever the hell they do. With that being said, Chris, who do you got?
I'm going with Moxley because I think they're going to conclude the story of what they should have done. I've told everybody they should not have stripped Moxley of that U.S. title because of a natural disaster. I think they're going to make up for it. They're going to make up for it to finish telling the story they had set up from earlier in last year in 2019. Yeah. Moxley's winning this U.S. title back. He's getting payback. He's getting redemption for getting stripped of that title.
All right, fair enough. With that being said, Mark, what about you?
All week I've had it in my mind I was going to pick Lance Archer, and I watched the promo, then I was definitely on Lance Archer's side, but at the end of the day, I'm going with Moxley. I got to.
All right. Cindy, what about you?
Well, there has been like a rumor about AEW and New Japan recently, so there may be a chance that there may be going to be like a stint for it too. I mean, you never know what the future's going to hold, like whether or not we're going to see like, oh, New Japan being more recognized to AEW, since, New Japan is no longer on XTV as it is, and especially like how they're going to be concluded, especially for like a more of a dynamic. It's just with AEW and Bushi in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, for my pick, honestly, it's not going to be Lance Archer. I'm going to say Jon Moxley will be the new IWGP United States champion. That way he can face Juice Robinson on night 2, the match that we should have seen it in the first place.
And that is the exact reason why I'm going with Jon Moxley, because there is a story yet to be finished. The whole reason King of Pro Wrestling was bound to happen is because, and this again, what Juice Robinson won. He even proclaimed this in his backstage interview where he broke down mostly with the fact, 1, he didn't win the title, and 2, he didn't get to face Jon Moxley. Because think about it. What happened in Jon Moxley's debut? He beat Juice Robinson for that title.
Yep.
And technically, the two, they're 1-1. They have to finish it. A rubber match needs to occur. With that being said, I'm also going with Jon Moxley. But good brother Chris, he is going against us also with Lance Archer. So, everybody, you claimed your fate. We'll see what happens. All right. 500-plus days he's been freaking out, and we weren't sure he was ever going to come back. Now he's back. Cindy, get your cat ready. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. The man that you think would have been Wrestler of the Year, considering he's done every damn thing under New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Ariel says versus the ticking time bomb, Hiromu Takahashi. So far, I don't know about you all, but I wonder at this point, can anybody beat Will Ospreay? He's run the gauntlet. He handed one of the best matches of New Japan Pro Wrestling this year against Shingo Takagi in the finale of Best Super Juniors. He beat Dragon Lee for that title at Dominion. He finally conquered ELP, and he even beat Impromptu Bushi after sucking his own mist himself. That I still can't believe he did that and killing Red Shoes. And he even brought back the Real Barbie Eagles defending this title. The man cannot be stopped. But now he's got one more obstacle in his way. It's going to be your cat, Cindy, versus the sex pig, as he puts it, Percy. So, with that being said, Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi. Do I see this title changing hands? Well, last year, Taiji Shimori won it against Kushida. But if Hiromu doesn't win this, why did he come back? I gotta see something give here. I'm going with the Tiki Time Bomb. Yeah. So I'm going with a title change. I just feel like Will Ospreay, he faced everybody. And it's not like he's going to face Okada for that title because Okada believes no other title matters. So with that being said, James, who's your pick for this?
It's why would you bring him back if he's not going to win the belt? Like, he had a wicked bad injury that nobody knew if he could come back from. He's finally come back, and he's losing every match on the road to. This is obviously leading to a win, and if it doesn't, who the hell's booking this? So yeah, I'm going with Takahashi.
All right, Mark, what about you?
I definitely picked Hiromu, but I will say Ospreay had an awesome year. He had one of the, if not, the best in 2019 of any professional wrestler, and I was actually going to go with him, but like at the end of the day, like why would they bring him back just for Ospreay to go over? I don't see it happening, so I just picked Hiromu.
All right, and good brother Chris, he also picked. Let's see here, I think he picked Hiromu Takahashi. Yep, he picked the Ticking Time Bomb as well, and Chris Cass, he also picked the Ticking Time Bomb. So, well, this should be interesting. Chris, you have a knack for this, and it's giving you mixed fortunes. Are you the odd one out?
No, I think you're going to correct me on this if I'm wrong or not. But didn't he, when he hurt his neck, was he not the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion before he hurt his neck and then had to relinquish the title?
That is correct.
Okay, so therefore he's coming back for his title. Will Ospreay has beating everybody in the junior heavyweight division. It's time for him to step up and go into that heavyweight division, see what he can do in that heavyweight division. With him being back, I'm not being odd one out. I'm going green with everybody on this pick.
All right.
Tick
Well,
tock, tick tock.
all right. Well, here we go, guys. You're now holding your fate in your hands. This is truly where it's do or die for somebody, at least two people. Will it be the Switchblade Jay White?
Wait, what about my pick?
You didn't get Cindy's
I
pick.
thought you did pick. Yeah, go ahead. What's your pick, Cindy? Because I
Yeah,
know
you
you
guys
have
had
two
a
chances.
comment about me. Wow, it's all good.
Yeah,
Well, you know that with
sidetracked with you.
Takahashi, he's been out since that horrible neck injury during the G1 special, which me and good brother Chris, we were there before we even met live. We witnessed that happening. And again, we were impressed how he finished the match. But we didn't know he got seriously hurt because of that botch landing from Ryu Lee or Dragon Lee, whatever.
Man, that was
But with
bad.
that being said, this is going to be pretty interesting for that, especially like during the meet greet, meeting Will Ospreay in person while bringing little Daryl and my other stuffed animal. It's like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. But Will Ospreay had a very incredible year. But honestly, I feel it's time for him to drop the title because I feel for 2020, this is the year that he's going to be moving up to the heavyweight. I mean, he proved himself. He is the aerial assassin. So I'm going with Hamaru Takahashi to be the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Considering one point this year, he literally dropped Ariel from his name, but he also proclaims how junior heavyweights, they should be able to man with Tokyo Dome, and these two want to try and steal the show. I can completely see that. I mean, Shingo Takagi, he ran the gauntlet best super juniors and moved up because he beat everybody except for one person.
Yep.
But it was like, I beat everybody, I'm going to the heavyweights. Do I see Will Ospreay moving to the heavyweights? I don't know. It's optimistic thinking, but I think regardless, I think he needs to drop this belt and see what Hiromu can do with it now that he's back. All right. Well, now we get into the dual main event as Wrestle Kingdom is known for, but this is only one half of it. But again, your picks, guys, you're following it the way through. So good luck. Our first match, IWGP Intercontinental Championship. The Switchblade, leader of Bullet Club, Jay White versus the man whose destino is truly all or nothing at this point. The Stardust Genius, leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito. One of these two men will go on to face the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, title for title, and will leave with double gold. First time ever. Now, Jay White, at this point, he's beating all three of these men. At this point, he's just wondering, why New Japan keeps denying me, keeps denying how great my talent is, keeps denying I'm the best professional wrestler going today, with the fact that I've done this much in 3 years. Nobody has done what I've done. It's unprecedented. And then you have to see a Naito who started this whole thing about holding the Intercontinental and also the heavyweight at the same time, not necessarily through matches. Now he's got no choice. But pretty much for him, he says it's all or nothing. If he doesn't win here, you got to imagine he's going to go off an excursion. So, with that being said, let's try and figure out this picture. Mark, who's going to head into night two as IWGP Intercontinental Champion?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Just put me down for Naito.
Enough said.
I went back and forth enough. It's just like a band-aid. Just let me get it over with. I'm just gonna go ahead and make my decision. So I'm gonna go say Naito.
Yeah, considering I've looked over these matches for the last week, especially these two, you know I just want to keep my answers short, sweet, and simple, and that's why I'm also going with Tetsuya Naito. James, how about you?
It's Naito. I mean, he's the one who recommended this whole thing anyway. It has to be Naito. Like, that's what this whole thing's building towards. And again, if he doesn't win, we got some serious problems with the booking there. Like, why would you not give him this at this point? Especially considering how many times has he lost the big one? Like, he's got to win a big one at some point. The only big one he's won was his rematch with, what's his face?
Chris Jericho.
And Jericho.
And also, yeah, he main evented freaking Wrestle Kingdom 12 and lost the heavyweight title there. Fulfilled one dream, couldn't fill the other. At this point, he's just trying to build a legend. Chris, who you got?
with everything they're doing with the stories they've been telling throughout the year, getting to this moment, I feel like at this for day one, it's Naito beating Jay White, become the new Intercontinental Champion.
And good brother Chris said, Naito, sorry, Courtney, good friend of mine on Twitter. She is a diehard Jay White fan. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Cindy, what about you?
Well, it is pretty much a conflict because the fact that you have great storytelling. So I know Naito always doesn't have pretty much a good moment when it comes to Wrestle Kingdom matches. But with that being said, I'm thinking what is going to be the business aspect for New Japan, especially like they're going to be going on a U.S. tour in full swing this year. You need to have like a star that can actually gravitate towards the Western audience. And I know for a fact both guys can definitely carry on to like globally, but the only person that definitely can outshine the most, especially going to the night 2, I hate to say this, and I guess I'm going to be pulling that card. I'm going with Jay White to retain the IWGP Intercontinental title because you need to have someone that can represent it, including New Japan Pro America. Why not have him to represent the company alike too? He has a very incredible year in 2019. He actually beat Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title like a month later. I know he lost at the G1 Supercard. So I feel that this is the time for him to like step it up and just go into that main event for night 2. So I'm going with Jay White to retain the title.
Just correct you real quick. He actually beat the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, for the title, and then lost it to Okada at G1.
Sorry.
But
hey, Matthew Bottomania. Hi, how are you?
Watch. That's okay. Well, Cindy, that's extremely bold. Like I said, I went back and forth with this. You make a lot of sense, but I'm just thinking about right now what people want to see the most in night 2 when we get there, and that's why I went with this, because no matter what, Jay White's going to be polarized, and he's going to be over. He's the leader of Bullet Club. He's brought Bullet Club to the highest regime it's been since the Kenny Omega era, really. So that's why I went with
would make sense to have. It would make sense to bring it back, Bullet Club, for what it was before, when Kenny, Cody, the Bucks, AJ, Finn Balor, when all of them left to do other stuff too. So now it's up to Jay White just to bring in the notable name for Bullet Club.
Well, we'll see what happens with his 2020. But right now, I feel like right here, because also, Naito won the IC title last year. I think he can do it again. But there is one thing I also want to just think about. I don't know if Jay White has lost yet to Naito. So there's a moment right there. But with that being said, that's only one half of the picture. Let's try and complete the other half. Golden Star and winner of G1 Climax 29, Kota Ibushi versus the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Both these men, they fought to keep this match intact, and they did. Kazuchika Okada, he successfully defended his title, not only against Minoru Suzuki, but Sanada. And Kota Ibushi, he successfully defended his right certificate against Kenta and your boy, Chris, Evil. Now the match is official, and these two, they have gone back and forth. Okada, he doesn't give a damn about IWGP title. He just wants to sell the Tokyo Dome, make wrestling the biggest thing in the world, and, of course, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And then you have Kota, who wants to basically bring in the strongest and the greatest titles, his words, to the same level. And he values the IC title because it was held by his two gods, per se, in Shinsuke Nakamura and the man that he conquered this year, finally, who's endorsing him, I believe, the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, these two, they've gone back and forth. Kota knocked Okada's brains in with the briefcase, and Okada keeps challenging Kota to bring out something you haven't brought out yet, because you're going to need your best to beat me. So the ultimate question here, guys, can the Rainmaker be stopped at Wrestle Kingdom when he's in the main event and he's holding the title? So, with that being said, I'm going to go first and say, I honestly see, because I've seen how many times these two face each other and I'm afraid for their lives, for their necks, I honestly see Wrestle Kingdom 12 repeating. And I am going with the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, for the win.
Yeah, I
Cindy,
am too.
all right, James, been that quick. Cindy, what about you?
Honestly, if Okada is gonna be retaining the title, that means what is the whole point of Ibushi winning the G1 climax and how with that briefcase? I feel like it's definitely time for Ibushi to shine, especially he had a very incredible year. I feel this is time for him to rise to the top. Ever since Kenny Omega left for AEW, he's on his own. So what better way for him to be? Just to be the next face for New Japan. And I feel Ibushi is definitely that person. So for that, I'm going with Ibushi to be the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and he'll face Jay White for the double champion. And yes, we'll see Okada versus Naito all over again from Wrestle Kingdom 12,
Yes.
per se.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
11,
just like
11. Yeah.
or 11.
Oh, no, wait. It was 12. Yeah, it was 12. I'm sorry.
It
Yeah.
It
was
is
12.
12, yeah.
It was 12.
Remember.
Yeah.
So
I remember watching it.
once again, so have Ibushi have his moment. If Okada retains, it's not going to sit well. And I really don't want to see Okada be the double champion, because if he is, then New Japan's going to drop the ball big time.
Well,
Will-
again, I think Okada doesn't care about being double champion. You can clearly see it if you listen to his interview and his reaction when he's like, "You want to be double champ. You want to be double champ. You want to be double champ." Nandine! He said, "What the hell?" I'm sure he had another word in mind, but again, it's not going to go that level. But
Here's my thing. So
what's
I'll,
your thing,
I'll
James?
explain
'Cause you
why
picked Okada.
I pick Okada because would it really be dropping the ball here? Because it's like, while yes, he doesn't care about being double champion, he does care about proving that Naito ain't on his level. It doesn't make sense not to have that rematch. It makes no sense. You have to have that rematch. This makes too much sense. Kota has got to be sacrificed here. Kota hasn't had the story nearly as big as Naito. Naito has been chasing this for years. He's been chasing this goal for years. He's the one who came up with this whole idea. It has to be Okada he beats. He has to go on in advance to fight Naito. It has to be Naito versus Okada too. Not to mention the fact that if you hotshot the title on Kota, he's only going to have a reign of 24 hours. You know, that's very un-New Japan-esque to do that. They wouldn't do that. You know, there's a reason. There's a reason Kota's in the spot. Yeah, there's a reason Kota's in the spot. 100%. Kota earned it, but there's no way they're going to make him the champion right off the bat. There's no way. They can't. And plus,
see, that's the thing I really don't like about having the double champ matches, though. It sets to throw off everything that is happening.
Mm-hmm. And again,
I
Okada
don't think it will throw it off
was
too much. If Kota goes on excursion, it's excused because then he can develop. The one thing that I truly think is missing from Kota's deal, he doesn't even have a gimmick. That's the problem. You look at Naito, he went on excursion, developed a gimmick. You look at Jay White, he went on excursion, developed a gimmick. Actually, he developed a gimmick before he went on excursion. You look at a bunch of other people. You look at Okada, went on excursion, albeit it ended horribly, but then he came back, became the Rainmaker, and got himself the greatest gimmick New Japan's pretty much ever come up with. And, you know, he needs something. There's something missing about Kota. I can't put my finger on what it is, but it's like until he finds it, and that's probably what they're thinking too, there's no way he's ready to go into this double champion match. Not to mention the fact I really don't want to see Fuck My Neck 2 Electric Boogaloo. I don't want to see it. I saw it live. I don't need to cringe at them dropping each other on their neck. It was no more of that. God damn.
And also, Kota signed a lifetime comment at NPW, so it's like he has literally a lifetime to figure it out. You bring a lot of compelling points. But with that being said, good brother Chris, he said, clear my throat, Okada needs his win back from the G1 tournament Block A finals. My pick is Okada. All right, with that being said, these two probably have a lot to think about after what you all said, and they've been waiting longest. Mark, Who's your pick?
I was leaning towards Coda, but after, he just signed the new contract, and I really thought that he was, New Japan's creative was going to show, he showed his loyalty, so they were going to, repay him with maybe a big win, but I think at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Okada, man. I can't bet against the Rainmaker, so.
Yeah, and to think the Rainmaker, he won MVP again. He's going to be carrying the Olympic torch. Okada has everything going for him. It's almost like he's literally unstoppable. But with that being said, Chris, who's your pick?
This was a tough one because if any other time we weren't doing a double dash where we're having 2 titles in 2 nights to determine who's going to be the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion, I would have easily said Ibushi to win because of his performance in the G1. However, with everything going on, the story they've been telling with Naito, losing at Wrestle Kingdom 12, there looks like to me they're playing the story. If they do not do this with Naito and set this rematch up now, I don't feel like Naito's ever going to get the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I think the story here is Okada retains the title in day 1 to set up Okada versus Naito for both titles in day 2.
Yeah, you also gotta think what's gonna make them the most yen. Kota Ibushi versus Tetsuya Naito, or Kazuchika Okada versus Tetsuya Naito, the rematch.
I mean,
And
both
I do
of them are very
agree with.
fun.
And I do agree one thing James said. I don't realistically see them putting the title on Ibushi for 24 hours and dropping it. Yes, we talked in 2019. They seemed like they had that year at the beginning. A lot of people were winning the title, hot potato back and forth. I just don't see them doing it for 24 hours. I don't think they would ever. They've never done that with their title in their history. I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon like that.
Yeah, because New Japan Pro Wrestling actually cares about their 8 titles. With that being said, we are done with day 1, folks. Yeah, it's great. That was day 1. Y'all ready for day 2? We do our tiebreaker in our actual chat because we got to keep moving along because there's still a lot to digest. With that being said, let's just go right quick here, and all you got to do is name your faction. The opening match for day 2 is for, and yes, they do still exist, the 6-men Never Openweight Tag Team Championships. They've been defended like 5 times now. Currently held by Togi Makabe, Ryusuke Kaduchi, and everyone's favorite, Toyano, representing Chaos. We also have now a gauntlet, and literally it's for the titles. It's not about who faces them. Whoever wins this gauntlet gets the titles. Team Chaos, Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Evil of LIJ, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, and Taiji of Suzuki-gun, and Bullet Club challenge Luck Ballet. With that being said, keeping it simple, figured about who's held these titles before, who can actually win gold, but honestly, I'm not sure these titles are even going to be raised higher if someone else wins them. So I'm just going to say the champs retain. James, what about you?
Yeah, champs retain. Didn't they do this? I swear they did this like the last 2 years, didn't they?
They do this now as a tradition of the opening. They replaced the Rumble, yeah, basically. But last year it wasn't for the titles; it was just a gun to see who'd be #1 contenders. So you're going with the champs as well?
Yeah, I'm going with the champs as well. Wow, that's man. I feel like they're never gonna get those belts off them.
Well, they tried 5 times this year. Didn't work. Cindy, what about you?
Honestly, I feel this one tag team needs to be bringing into the elevation, especially taking this 6-man tag team champion very seriously, because this Never Openweight is pretty prestigious. I feel we need a right winner. I'm going with LIJ.
All right. And good brother Chris agrees with you. He also said LIJ. With that being said, Mark, who do you got?
LIJ.
All right, we got a bunch of LIJ people here. Okay, Chris, what about you?
All right, who's my favorite wrestler, no?
Evil.
Okay, so that's who I'm going with.
Well, if anything from Road to Tokyo don't show me anything, if Tomohiro Ishii and Evil are in the same ring together, oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, Chris Cash, he went with Team Chaos. So he basically went also with the champs, per se. All right. And honestly, that's the only opening match for day 2, considering how long this might take. So let's go ahead and once again say hashtag thank you, Liger. Now we get to Liger basically endorsing the future. It is Yusuke Thunder Liger and his tag partner, Naoki Sano, versus no longer called Dragon Lee, Ryu Lee, and his partner, who could be the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Hiromu Takahashi. Now, with that being said, James, who do you pick for this?
Obviously Takahashi's team is winning. I think Jushin Thunder Liger is going to do the honorable thing and put the talent over. I mean,
and honestly, I have to agree because literally this is it. Come January 6th during New Year's Dash, that's his retirement ceremony. This is his last match. Hashtag thank you, Liger. And that's why I think he's going to endorse Ryu Lee and Hiromu Takahashi. I'm going with them. Cindy, what about you?
Well, honestly, this is going to be a send-off. Liger's going to win night one. I feel it's time for the newer generation to win this match. So I'm going with Team Takahashi and Lee. And I feel this is a very right opponent for Liger, and especially bringing his notable tag team partner from years ago. So I'm going with Lee. Yeah. So Lee and Takahashi beat Liger in an honorable way.
And goodbye, Chris agrees with you entirely and gives 2 sad face emojis. Hashtag thank you, Liger. He went with
because we haven't even met Liger, and it sucks. Damn you, LA.
Hey, you all just get lucky to see NJPW. I have yet to see it. Anyway, Mark, who's your pick for this?
I got Ryu Lee and Hiromi.
There you go. All right, Chris. Second opportunity. Are you all one out, or are you going with the up-and-comers?
I'm just going to say one thing. Thank you, Liger. I remember you back all the way in WCW, and I want to rephrase something. You were actually one of the first few men to hold the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship in 1991. I've been watching your career since you were 11. I was 11 years old, and I'm 37 now. Therefore, thank you, Liger, but I know you're going to do the honorable thing at 30 years in the business. You already know I'm agreeing with everybody on this.
All right. So we're unanimous. All right. Don't be surprised if Cindy sings here, folks. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Bullet Clubs, Taiji Ishimori and ELP versus, and they finally got their trophies back, the winners of the Super Junior Tag League, Roppongi 3K. Roppongi 3K, they're no strangers to Tag Team Gold. They held them earlier this year, and they lost them literally to this team that has not dropped these titles yet. Crop punches, shenanigans aside, and even stealing the trophies, Roppongi 3K, they have bounced back, and now they are once again gunning for the gold. They were involved with this gold last year at Wrestle Kingdom. They didn't get it. They didn't get it until the anniversary show. So, can Roppongi 3K claim the titles here? Chris, who do you got?
Bullet Club's retaining.
All right. Mark, what about you?
I got Roppongi 3K.
Okay. James? What about you?
Bullet Club.
Or life. All right, let's see here. Ah, man, this one's tough because I forget about how long they held those titles. And the last time Roppongi 3K won the tag gold on Wrestle Kingdom, been a while.
Yes.
So, with that being said,
Suzuki-gun.
Yep. So, with that being said, I'm not singing, but I'm going to go with a title change here. I'm going to go with Roppongi 3K. Cindy, who do you got?
I'm going with Roppongi 3K. Chris, don't at me.
All right, let's see here.
Which Chris, though, because you got 2 of us.
He's the diehard anti-Roppongi 3K. Every time the theme song plays, he has to cover his shirt. I have video footage to prove. And he always boo. He always cry. Yeah.
Just ask me this. Do you like Roppongi 3K because Yo does the pet flexing thing?
Nah, it's all good. I like the tag team dynamic, though. And their theme song is pretty legit. Don't at me again.
It's just the new day of New Japan, okay? All right, let's just call it this.
All right. Chris Cass, he said Bullet Club, and good brother Chris, he said, and I quote, ugh, show and Yo, show pinned Bone Soldier. He actually went with you. He went with Roppongi 3K.
Oh, so, what?
Most of us are sensing a title change here. So we will see what happens. All right. Sonata does not really care about the belt, and Zack Sabre Jr. does not care about Sonata wearing white pants. It is the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. The current champ, the submission master himself, and one of the best promos you could ever hear, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Cold Skull. Sonata, who really was a breakout star this year in New Japan 2019. He wasn't involved in the last Road to Tokyo Dome show, though, because an injury to his face, whatever that means. And that allowed Bushi to get a pinfall win over the champ. What the world? Way to build some momentum. And, of course, he threw a hissy fit. Now, you all know I'm pro Suzuki-gun. Zack Sabre Jr., he's lost the title, but he regained it immediately from the Ace himself, after the Ace tried to play his own game. Long-lived Sabreism, and last year, Zack Sabre Jr. won the new Rev Pro title off the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii. And it's for that reason that I believe the trend's going to continue, and I am going with Zack Sabre Jr. for the win. Mark, what about you?
Even though I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to turn Sonata into a human pretzel, once he gets out of that pretzel, he's going to figure out a way to win. I think there will be a new champ.
All right, fair enough. I mean, these two are jogging back and forth when it comes to pinfall after pinfall after pinfall after pinfall during the Road to Tokyo Dome tour and during the freaking G1 match themselves. With that being said, James, what about you?
They call it the British Heavyweight Championship, but there's another name for it. It's called the Zack Sabre Belt. What do you think my pick is?
Enough said. All right. Chris?
Like, who else is going to win it? Can we give it to somebody else that's British, please?
You mean like Will Ospreay?
Like, how many times? How long has he held this belt, like, combined days? It's ridiculous.
He's the longest reigning combined champ with this belt.
Kidding.
He wants to retire with this belt. He literally said if he ever won the Cornell belt, he would throw it away because this belt is the more prestige. Enough said. Long live Sabreism. With that being said,
I don't think he knows what prestige means, but okay.
And no one's going to argue with Zack Sabre Jr., and even if you do, he'll just break your arm. Chris, who do you got?
I'm actually going to go for a title change. I'm going with Sonata to win.
All right. And Goodbye Chris also said Sonata. With that being said, Cindy, what about you?
I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr. to retain the title.
Can we give it to somebody? Isn't there no other British name on the Rev Pro roster that could just carry the belts for New Japan? Like, why is it always Sabre?
Good question. I really don't know how to
Give it
answer
to El
that.
Phantasmo, for Christ's sake.
Mikey Nichols.
Yeah.
Mikey Nichols. Yeah, because, the whole heel versus heel dynamic only works so far, okay? But with that being said, Big Cass, he went with Sonata. All right. Now, y'all remember your picks from day one, so let's see what happens here. IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. You're basically declaring whether Juice Robinson becomes champ or your Wick pick from night one keeps their title. So the bottom line is this. Who leaves Wrestle Kingdom with the title? Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, or Juice Robinson? Now, I told you all my pick from night one was, of course, Jon Moxley, because we need an end to that storyline between Juice Robinson and Jon Moxley. I did not pick Finn Juice to win the tag titles, and even if I did, I do not see Juice going out of here with 2 belts either. Let's not get the whole crazy double gold thing going. And it's for that reason, keeping it simple, that I do believe that Jon Moxley is leader in Wrestle Kingdom as IWGP United States champ. All right. Cindy, what about you?
Well, this is going to be the one way that we've been all waiting for before Moxley's injury. So, with that being said, this is going to be the end of it all. And I'm going to go with, actually, Jon Moxley retaining the title because with the reports about AEW and New Japan having a working relationship, and we have AEW Revolution coming up very soon,
What a
I
fitting name.
figure if they give, Moxley, giving recognition to being the IWGP United States champion, have him defended the title at that upcoming AEW pay-per-view. So that way, AEW can finally have, one of the titles be recognizable. Face it, the only title AEW has, heavyweight, the women's, and tag team. No mid-card title.
Nope.
So Moxley's going to be the only saving grace in that equation. and just being like only recognizable just to showcase only that title itself. If it's the working relationship with New Japan and AEW happen, which, you know, believe me, I think it'll be more doable too, especially it will bring it more into like the core audience alike. So I'm going with Moxley retain the title.
There you go. And again, with the idea that they are willing to work with any partners and they're expanding and plan to do shows, I might add, in the UK. Their pay-per-view name is Revolution. What bigger revolution could you have this year in professional wrestling than New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW working together? It seems like a foregone conclusion at this point, but we'll save that for another day. Maybe we'll do like a state address on that. With that being said,
I want to comment on that. It needs to happen.
All right.
Yes.
And get off your high horse. Seriously, for the love of God, just work with them. I don't understand what the big issue is. Oh, well, guys left your company. Big whoop. Why are you making a big deal about it now? They're like, we're never going to work with them. That's the forbidden door. Nah, work with them. For the love of God. Come on. I would love to see I would love to see a Tanahashi Jericho match for that AEW World Title. I'm just saying. Come on.
Well, we'll get to that soon because you might be setting that up. But with that being said, Chris, what do you got?
I think to end the story, you had to have Juice Robinson win. I think because the way they did the story, Moxley beat him on his debut, won the U.S. title. I think Juice Robinson would have won that U.S. title back had the fact that it had not happened with John Moxley and that with the natural disaster. So he wasn't able to do the honors. I mainly picked John Moxley to win that U.S. title so the next night he can have the rubber match and Juice Robinson become the new two-time IWGP United States champion. And then you have something else buzzworthy to talk about because not only that, if he does win the tag titles, you have something else buzzworthy to talk about as well for New Japan going into 2020.
True. And again, this is the kickoff. Literally, this is the kickoff that will set the pace for New Japan Pro Wrestling and New Year's Eve. With that being said, James, you did give a little bit of a rant, but I didn't get your pick. Who's leaving, Moxley or Juice as the champ?
Well, I had the whole theory of Moxley, and I don't know if it all depends on if they actually have a relationship. It actually really depends on if AEW has a relationship, because if they do, Moxley's winning, but if they don't, Juice is obviously winning the belt off Moxley.
So you're predicting the future ahead of time. Good luck.
So I think Robinson's going to win regardless. Just because I don't see them getting unstubborn. They should. It'd be great for both New Japan and AEW, but they won't. See, that's another thing. I don't like him anymore. But Jim Cornette did bring up a good point: is that wrestling companies are so worried about what they're doing instead of working together to try to take on a juggernaut like WWE. I 100% agree with them. Seriously, why is everybody trying to run their own thing when you could easily just, take, for instance, what I recommended. If New Japan were to have a working relationship with New Japan, and then, let me redo that.
Watch.
Hi, Matthew. New Japan works with AEW, and Impact works with AEW, like I recommended months ago. It would be a hell of a thing for all three companies involved. I really do. Because it would make everything so big. It would be such a big roster that you could actually have. AEW could have two shows, one for Impact, one for Dynamite, and then you would have a working relationship with New Japan to rotate more talent out, which is one of the biggest criticisms that everybody's been giving AEW, is that they won't have enough talent to rotate. Not only that, if you have Impact and AEW in a working relationship with New Japan, you can rotate talent to New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. Seriously, why can't wrestling companies just work together? It'd be a win for everybody involved.
It's just the way the world is, man. Some companies have their own policies, politics, and ways, and they refuse to break them. They also refuse to mend broken bridges, per se. But you're just going to have to wait and see what happens on that. And again, I feel like right now all of us could come together and put a stamp of address on professional wrestling as a whole. but we still have to finish up this card. So I got your pick. You said James.
I just wanted to throw that out there. That I think,
know, and I respect that. Mark, you're the last one. Who do you got? You picked Moxley day one.
Put me down for old Juicy Juice, old Juice Robinson, sir.
Gonna need a left-handed god, and that'll be it. All right. Let's get into what you think would just be a wrestling title. Now it's just about seeing if you can break the other person's jaw at this point. Because, good lord, this title and its champions. You think about Katsura Shibata. You think about Tomohiro Ishii. You think about now who's going for it, Hiroki Goto, and the current title holder himself, Kenta. Never Openweight Championship. Kenta versus Hiroki Goto. This, of course, was brought on when Hiroki Goto, he pinned Kenta, and then Kenta got involved in Hiroki Goto's affairs for not only the Continental title, but during the World Tag League. So, I see something bigger developing here, because who brought Kenta into freaking New Japan Pro Wrestling? Katsura Shibata. He not only took, but he endorses trying to make Kenta look like a great heel. Now, whether or not you believe their friendship is over, they're not friends, that's up to you to believe. But I believe because of the bigger thing coming, I think, for this title, I think Kenta's retaining. Even though Hiroki Goto has won this title in the past of Wrestle Kingdom over the likes of Katsura Shibata and Minoru Suzuki, even risking his own hair. But right now, I don't see Kenta losing that title. I see Goto going to sleep. With that being said, Mark, who do you got?
I'm definitely going with Kenta on this one.
All right. James, what about you?
For me, this is another thing. It should be Kenta. I think Kenta's retaining regardless, but yeah, I'm hoping somehow by the grace of God they were able to clear Shibata because that would be a natural feud right there. But if not, I honestly see Shibata. I would be intrigued to see Shibata turn on New Japan and be a manager for Bullet Club if he's not cleared, because that would give him a new lease on life and a new role in New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, New Year's Dash is the most unpredictable day of the year, and it sets the tone. We'll see what happens. But for that, you're also Kenta. So, Chris, who do you got?
I know Goto has most reigns as a never openweight champion. Is that correct? He's got 8, right? Yeah, like I said, the real Kenta's back. He's been proving himself since he's been back. So therefore, with that and everything else, I don't see Goto getting a 9th reign here. So I'm going with Kenta to retain.
And good brother Chris, he also said Kenta, and Chris Cass, he said Goto. It always has to be one oddly now. There might be 2. Cindy, what about you?
I'm going with Kenta to retain the title.
And
like I said, I feel that there's a rumor that Goto is possibly leaving New Japan. So.
Yeah, it seems like New Japan Pro Wrestling right now is in another state of reshaping. And that starts with Kenta as never openweight champion. But we'll see what happens.
Why is Goto leaving? I wonder. Probably because he hasn't actually won any gold other than a never openweight, I feel like.
Who knows? I mean, he also leads the New Japan Dojo, or coach there, I believe. But I don't know. And then again, he's only got 2 students right now there. And right now, one of them is under the tutelage of Tiger Mask. He's only got 1 left. So it all depends. All right, before we talk about basically our conclusions to Wrestle Kingdom, we got to talk about what we've been talking about this whole time.
Yep.
Are we finally breaking past a forbidden door? What's going to happen here? Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan, and the first time since 2003 he has not been involved on January 4th in a Wrestle Kingdom main event, versus the Painmaker and current AEW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho. There's only one thing you need to think about this. If Hiroshi Tanahashi wins, Chris Jericho, AEW, New Japan, the ace, are all in agreement, he will cross that forbidden door and get an AEW championship title match.
Which would open a relationship with AEW.
Nothing else needs to be said besides that. This is the man, the ace. This is the man that brought New Japan out of the dark ages. If you really want to talk about someone that could change the world and really bring wrestling to a full-fledged light, this is the man to do it.
Yeah.
And it's for that reason that I'm just keeping it simple, even though I get it. He's lost the freaking Kenny Omega. He's lost the freaking Tetsuya Naito. He's lost 2 Wrestle Kingdoms in a row. He even lost to Okada for the heavyweight title. Do I see him basically losing 3 Wrestle Kingdoms in a row? I do. AEW, basically, Chris Jericho, he called the title a prop. And the man doesn't need to wrestle. He just needs to basically character himself. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's been around this long at 50 plus years old. And he can still wrestle to a degree. But there's no doubt in my mind, no matter what you say about the ace, the injuries, and just his length altogether, he's got to win here, in my opinion. I'm going with the freaking ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. Another thing, too. This is one thing. Has he used the Judas effect in New Japan yet?
He used it on Okada
Yes.
post-match after Okada beat him with a wrestling move. That is it.
I was just about to say, if he's using the Judas effect, that's an AEW creation, really. They may have already had a working relationship and we don't even realize it yet.
Well,
Okay,
just keep
Because if they were that stubborn, they would not let him use that move. I'm fully convinced they would not let him use that move if that was the case.
Well, just keep it in mind. Remember, they alter his theme song in New Japan.
Correct.
Replace it
Yeah,
with
they do that with everybody, though. They did that when Styles was in Ring of Honor and New Japan, and they had a working relationship. So
Fair enough. With that being said, Mark, who do you got in this match?
I got the Le Champion. I think, and this is how I think. I think Jericho's going to win, and even though there is a working relationship, I don't think. I think this is just the early signs of it. I don't think there's anything concrete yet. I actually do think that they're just using the title as a prop to have more intrigue in the match. That's just my opinion. I know you guys don't agree. You've already commented on that. I do think that's what it is. I think they just put that as a prop just so you can have more intrigue in the match. But at the end of the day, I think Jericho will finally get a Wrestle Kingdom victory. I mean, because when will New Japan ever take him seriously? I mean, I know they take him seriously because when he's on the screen, everybody listens. He's one of the biggest attractions, biggest foreigners right now in New Japan. But at the end of the day, you got to come up with some type of win somewhere. Wrestle Kingdom is WrestleMania. That's Chris Jericho. You guys are arguing that he could be one of the greatest of all time. Well, let him get a victory at Wrestle Kingdom, and I think it's time.
Pretty much the only thing he hasn't done in his illustrious career, so very compelling points.
Ooh,
But with that being said,
I have one recommendation though. What if they waited another year for his victory, and then they could have a match at Wrestle Kingdom for the AEW title if they have a working relationship? Just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
considering 2021 will be Wrestle Kingdom 15, that would be
Yeah.
a very interesting milestone special attraction per se.
Yeah.
But again,
But
you're figuring
they don't have the
a year
Ring of Honor.
ahead.
They don't have the Ring of Honor belt anymore. If they have that, that would be huge. That would be huge.
It would be.
And again, beneficial for all parties involved
With
here.
that being said, Chris, I know you're looking at the whole picture. I get you. He said, and I quote, "I'm not pulling a Cindy G move. Don't bet against the GOAT, the AEW champion, Chris Jericho." Yes, Cindy, I said it. So there you go.
Brother Chris, and by the way, thank you, Jerry or Colin, whoever put that cold opener for the last episode of NXT for me.
Lord.
Oh my God. That put a smile on my face.
What
That
happened?
was funny,
Made
brilliant.
me call Evan.
All right, calm down. We don't need to call anybody in
Wait,
here.
what? Hold on. What happened?
He
We'll
got
tell you after the video.
shocked, like Walter. Anyway, Chris,
Oh.
who do you got? Who do you got?
Okay, here's the way I look at it. I believe AEW and New Japan have a working relationship. I believe we're in the working process. However, I feel like this. If you have Jericho, who's a heel in New Japan, he has to win matches. He's won the Intercontinental Championship. He's lost the Intercontinental Championship. He's had more big losses than he has big wins. Therefore, I believe Jericho needs to win this match. Like I said, I can see everybody's points of view and the sides on it. I think Jericho needs to win. He needs to tap out Tanahashi. That way they could set this up in a future reference, maybe a bigger name, maybe somebody like an Okada can say, okay, if I wrestle again, or he can come out there saying, hey, you're giving out AEW title matches, I beat you. Why don't you put that title line against me? Have a bigger somebody like an Okada, somebody like that goes out there and says, okay, well, I beat you, put the title on the line against me, and they do something like that. But in this match, if you're going to have Jericho be in New Japan too, he's got to have some more credible wins. Jericho's winning.
Fair enough. But again, Okada, he only cares about one thing. I think even he could care less. You can get him any other belt in the world, he'd be like, I don't give a damn. All that matters is IWGP Heavyweight Championship. With that being said, Cindy, it's AEW potentially, but New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's literally AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. Who do you got?
Well, honestly, it's like this. I know rumor happens, AEW, New Japan working relationship. Even if they're going to pull a trigger to some aspect of it, I don't see that, Tanahashi will beat Jericho to go get that title opportunity, especially, like I said, we have the upcoming AEW pay-per-view. I don't feel like he's going to be the right person to challenging Jericho. It should have been somebody else, maybe like a surprise appearance. But for my pick, I'm going with the GOAT himself, the Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
There was rumor has it he wanted to get the Inner Circle involved in this. If the Inner Circle literally helps Jericho get the win here, I think you just solidified everything you all said about this working relationship. But again, it's the ace. Now, I know in a post-interview, Jericho even said, you know what, maybe at one point I'll enter the G1. Imagine that. We got G1 Climax 30 coming up, folks. What if Chris Jericho enters that field? You know what would be the first stepping stone to solidify, I can compete in the G1. I beat the ace. But I don't know, because I've seen the Ace literally win with something as simple as a victory roll. And Wrestle Kingdom, that is his domain. He owns the real estate there, no matter if Okada beat him or not. He owns Wrestle Kingdom more than anybody, bar none. So I just have to go with the Ace on this one. All right. Well, we got through all the other madness. We talked about AEW versus NJPW. Let's talk about the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling, where it really matters. It's silver and gold medal, in the words of Okada himself. Let's start with our specials match, because basically, we're just calling who gets third place here. So, y'all made your picks about who's going to win the titles, who's not. Well, the two people that don't win the IWGP Intercontinental title and the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, boy, that's a mouthful, they will compete in a 60-minute time limit specials singles match. Potentially, we're already setting up the first person to challenge for the double gold. And I wonder how long this double gold stint is going to go. With that being said, my setup has Jay White versus Kota Ibushi, a G1 Climax finale rematch. Jay White won Wrestle Kingdom last year in record time, in under 20 minutes, against the Rainmaker himself, Okada. But then you have Kota Ibushi. If you really want to bring something out in Kota Ibushi, I feel like Jay White's the one guy who probably can do it even after Okada throws everything at him. So, with that being said, I'm actually going to go off the grid here and say, if my special match happens, Kota Ibushi is winning. So, with that being said, good brother Chris, he basically screwed up. He said Okada needs to win back last year. He screwed that up. Let's see here. He said Jay White defeats Kota Ibushi. He's the opposite of me. Now, you already made your picks for champs, so you already know who's now involved in the championship picture. So you're basically foretelling Wrestle Kingdom in your own words. You're either going to have the match or you're not. With that being said, Cindy, who would be your pick to win the special singles match in your setup?
Okada versus Naito. Since we mentioned about Naito did not get the W for Wrestle Kingdom, you know what? I feel him beating Okada would be an honor for him, especially he'll have the lineage. Even though if it's not going to be a title shot, it's okay. It could definitely be something for him to have this big monumentum. So him beating Okada would be like a stepping stone for like a brighter future for him.
All right, fair enough. James, you set up your secondary. In your best case scenario, who wins the special?
So this is with the pick we already made for the main event of night one.
Basically.
Okay.
So in your case, you're Jay White versus Ibushi.
I'm Jay White. I picked Okada to beat.
You picked Okada Naito for the double gold. This is the specials match, the before.
So this is to determine the.
Bingo. Like I said, you guys risk basically 3 matches here. Basically,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's nothing left to controversy.
Oh, gee. Okay, so this is basically number one contender?
It could be.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Jay White versus
Yeah,
Bushi.
screw it. I'm going to Bushi.
All right.
Bushi.
See if the Golden Star has a nice little follow-up to what could be the most aggressive, insane, best match of his career, but also his heartbreaking loss. All right, Chris. In your case, you're the same. You're Jay White versus Bushi. Who wins the special?
I'm gonna go Bushi.
Bushi? All
Did
right.
Mark give his pick?
No, but Mark's phone may have died too.
Oh, jeez.
I got it. I'll message him and I'll be like, hey, what's your pick for the final 2 matches?
Yeah,
If
you
his
gotta love
phone's dead,
technology
he
when
won't
it
get
craps
it.
out on you. Anyway, good. Let's see here. Chris Cass, he picked Jay White over Ibushi. So we'll see what happens. And we'll get Mark as soon as you get it. All right, folks. Like I said, Wrestle Kingdom New Year's Dash, it says for 2020. We have no idea how long this double Gold Dash will go, but it's time to find out who you think is going to lead 2020 as both Intercontinental and Heavyweight Champion. So here we are. And I'm just going to say one word. Destino. I am going with Naito. Finally fulfills what he wanted to do.
Let's go.
Tetsuya Naito is my pick to take all the gold home and give you that final LIJ roll call, sending the crowd to a frenzy, and home happy. Chris, what about you?
Naito. This is the story they've been building up to since the ending of Wrestle Kingdom 12. Naito's been trying to get this. He's had his ups, he's had his downs with everything going on up to this point. If he does not win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and leave with both the titles, I do not ever see him winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. You have built this up for 2 years. It's either you give him the title now or I don't ever see him getting it. And by then, it's like, what's the point of putting on him later now? You've had a 2-year build up to going back and forth, the ups and downs. His story the last 2 years, it's time. It's either now or never. That's the way I feel about it.
In other words, don't pull a main roster. You're better than this.
Yeah,
That's not the roster. It's just a roster. Remember, NXT is the main roster. Different company. I digress. Blech. Anyway, Chris Cass, he also said Naito, and good brother Chris said, Naito 2 belts! New Japan Pro Wrestling, pull the fucking trigger! Unquote. Cindy, what about you?
Since I'm the only one that chose Ibushi versus Jay White. Now,
Correct.
you guys see my Instagram story. If you guys have me on Instagram, I posted a picture of me and Jay White, and I say, good luck retaining the IWGP IC title. Even though I put the hashtag the era of the Switchblade, well, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. Jay White is not going to be a double champ. Kota Ibushi is going to be the double champ. Even though he's going to win the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, why not having his feel-good WrestleMania moment, especially the fact that, yes, even though he doesn't have a gimmick, but look, he's a rising star. He's busting his butts off. He re-signed with New Japan, and, you know, he's been going through trials and tribulations. So why not have Ibushi being the double champion, have everybody have a feel-good moment for New Japan? That way, it'll be more notable for, like, everybody in the general public. So with that being said, Ibushi to be the double champion.
Fair enough. I think Naito has more of a fan base over in Japan than Ibushi does. That's what I truly think, to be honest. They really, really want him to win that. They really want Naito to win it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like a state of indifference right now, though, when it comes to Okada. Do you like Okada as champ? Do you not like Okada as champ? Okada makes you feel happy. Okada wants to make wrestling bigger than the freaking Olympics. But the only title that matters to him is the heavyweight title. One man's out to set out history. One man's out to become a legend. One man's out just to steal January 4th and only care about the heavyweight title. And the other man's just out to really rub it in everyone's face what he's been saying the last 3 years based on everything he's done. The bottom line is this. The Switchblade, the Golden Star, the Rainmaker, or the Stardust Genius. One of them is going to make history as the first ever NJPW Double Gold Dash champion. And we will find out in mere hours. But with
You
that
know
being
what?
said, we got tiebreakers. We'll do it in the chat. So we are officially done with Wrestle Kingdom. I cannot be more excited. I am not more awake than ever. I am going to go rewatch probably Chris Charlton, Kevin Kelly, Gino Gambino, Rocky Romero, who will be doing commentary, of course. Their little roundhouse discussion again. And also, keep in mind, folks, you can watch this literally all 3 of these nights. Wrestle Kingdom 1, Wrestle Kingdom Day 2, and New Year's Dash. Just $10 on NJPWWorld.com. Fuck the Fight app! But I digress.
Yes.
With that being
100%.
said, this TeamIndyDQ opening league predictions video is officially done. Let's go around real quick and go ahead and just rant and plug. With that being said, good luck to everybody out in TeamIndyDQ. It was a pleasure doing this video with you. Chris, anything you want to plug?
Yes, well, I'm gonna tell everybody good luck. Like I said, this is that one prediction title that was really hard to win, and I won it. So we're gonna see. It's gonna anybody's answers on predictions is gonna be very interesting either way, whether whoever's right or wrong or whatever. It's gonna Wrestle Kingdom the 2 days plus the night after. It's gonna be well worth the wait to see how it all plays out. That's my thought on that. But I'm gonna plug out my co-host for NWA Power, Mark, real quick, since he phone probably died. But you can follow him at Mark Reviews on his YouTube channel. You can find him on Facebook at Mark Griffith. You can follow him also on Ashley Reynolds. And if I can remember his Twitter handler, I would tell you, but I know it's on there. Just type in Mark Griffith, you'll find it. And then you could find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Christopher Mace. You could follow my YouTube channel, The Holiday Christopher Mace, do holiday breaks, NWA Power reviews, all kinds of fun stuff. Like to talk about anything about wrestling, and just say you'll never know whose channel you may see me on in the future, or who I may have live coming up soon. You just don't know what's going to happen. I may have some live guests soon, or be part of somebody else's show you would never expect me to be on, but you'll have to stay tuned for that. I'll just do a Yano there. You'll just have to wait and see there. So, with that being said, good luck, everybody. And like I said, always support the NX team, TeamIndyDQ, and support NoDQ.com. And like I said, sometime this weekend you'll see either me and Noah doing 205 Live Matters, or we may do a double shot depending on what's going on with Wrestle Kingdom this weekend. We'll just have to wait and find out this sometime.
Simple as that. James, it's good to hear you, man. Good to see you haven't lost your touch. Anything you want to plug, and where can people find you?
You guys can follow me on my main YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/JHebertside95. That's also my Twitter handle at JHebertside95. That's JHEBERT Side 95. And I may be starting to post some content on there. I've been talking to Jerry and Stefan since they don't really have another secondary home. So I'm thinking of possibly having NX Team on my channel as well. We've been in talks. Don't quote me. It may happen. It may not happen, but we'll see. I'm teasing you guys a little bit. Hopefully it does happen, but we'll see what happens. Also, make sure you follow us. Follow the Wrestling Rundown, which is youtube.com/user/WrestlingFortune44. Rundown will be coming back. I will be actually hosting it this week because Owen's actually on vacation. So I will be the host on it this week coming up. We're going to be talking about Into the Fire and everything that pretty much happened after that, since we didn't get to really talk about it too much. We're going to be talking about AEW from the New Year edition, and we're also going to be talking about NXT's Christmas episode, and also doing our own Wrestle Kingdom predictions as well. So that's what's going to be going on in the rundown this week. Also, make sure you guys check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling because content, even though we're not going to be having a weekly show yet, we are going to be posting content this year. We're going to be posting the matches singularly. So every match from the Gold Rush tournament, every match from Immortal, every match from Gold Rush, all going to be posted separately, along with a mini documentary series in the video to kind of explain how the match came about, explain how everything kind of went down to why it happened the way it happened. So make sure you guys check that out. That's going to be really, really fun. I can't wait to work on that. That's youtube.com/user WYW Pride. If you go on there, you will notice the channel trailer has changed to the official WYW 2021 season intro. It is now up. You can check it out, and you can tell me what you think of it. A lot of people here actually seem to really like it, so that's awesome. Check it out and let me know what you think. Make sure you leave a comment down below, and turn the post notification bell on all 3 of the channels I just mentioned. And congratulations, by the way. I don't think we mentioned this yet. I might as well mention it in my plugs. To Kazuchika Okada, who will actually be bearing the Olympic torch at the 2020 Olympic Games for Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so
correct.
Congrats to him.
All right, well, there you go. Well, Cindy, you and I, we are both Team NoDQ, but hey, I know what you bring. So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, and what would you like to plug?
Well, you guys can find me at NoDQ.com/Cindy. That's going to be on my Twitter page. I'm going to be covering Wrestle Kingdom 14, Night 1 and Night 10 on Twitter, so make sure to stay tuned. Also, Instagram, simply_C_OK. YouTube channel, simply_C_OK, where I'll be posting vlogs of like Avenger and Wrestling. So come along into the journey and watch some matches with me, y'all. And new video will be coming up very soon as well. And do not forget, I did a brief Night 1 quick pick video for New Japan Night 1 on the NoDQ DOTCOM Instagram page. So Night 2 will be updated for tomorrow. And follow Good Brother Chris on Twitter, GB Chris Willis 86, Instagram Chris Willis 86, Facebook at Christopher Willis as well. And I believe the Facebook group Armbar, he told me they just hit 20K. So that's about it.
There you go. Armbar exclamation point as well. By the way,
get it. You can't forget this.
Before we continue, I got Mark's picks for the final 2 matches. Mark just sent it to me. He said Naito over Okada, and for the losers match, he said Ibushi over White.
All right, well, everybody's in, and we will see what happens. And please follow Mark Review's YouTube channel. He posts his great content there as well. Wrestling snippets, a little bit of discussions, etc. But with that being said, we are done here, everybody. This has been a ton of fun. Oh, wait, I guess I should do my thing. Yeah, I like being irrelevant, but all right. Anyway, this has been great fun. TeamIndyDQ, we're out in full force here, all 7 of us. Good luck to everybody. And I will be also doing budget. If you want to know more about me before I go off the rant here, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured out by now, I am a lifelong fan of what?
Wrestling!
You're damn right! Fucking wrestling! Not just sports entertainment. But if you want to talk to me about anything, sports entertainment, beyond, or professional wrestling, I broke James, or professional wrestling, look me up on Twitter at NoDQ.com/Noah, chase my Twitter page, or follow me on Instagram where you'll find food, hellos, and wrestling moments, matches, and a simple moment once in a while in my stories. I beat Cindy in the 6-second challenge on Instagram. At nfoster1916, sorry. 6.007, not bad, on 2 tries. Anyway, you can follow me on Instagram at Foster1916 as well. Or follow my silver YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/NoahFoster210. You'll find all sorts of wrestling content there at the Harvard #2 that matters, where I review and discuss the Cruiserweight division every week with my good friend here, Chris Mays. Sometimes with Butters on a rare occasion, you never know. But everything there is a nice, neat, organized playlist for you, and it's all wrestling content. Reviews, summaries, simple takes, predictions. You name it, it's there. It's wrestling. Please join my #2 for the Matters Facebook group. And as always, as Cindy foretold, the reason we are here, support NoDQ. There's a reason I'm in YouTube. Forever indebted to the NoDQ family. I'm losing my voice. Thank you, Aaron Riff. Go buy a shirt, go buy a mug, go buy a tapestry. Just buy something. Support my friends. Do it. NoDQ.com/merch, take you to the store. Follow my social media platforms. Your opinions matter. There's a comment section on everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, polls, sexy female pics. You name it, it's there. Primarily wrestling from WWE with a little bit of AEW and independent wrestling content as well. Stay tuned to this YouTube channel, though, where I will be doing, as soon as Night 1 concludes, a live, simple take on Night 1, as well as my thoughts going into Night 2. I will do the same thing following Night 2 as well as provide a simple extra as soon as I learn at bell time what New Year's Dash will bring. And as always, I like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, unscripted, uncensored, authentic, pontificated wrestling community together. Simple as that. So for everybody here in TeamIndyDQ, those that couldn't make it, good brother Chris and Chris Cass, for the lovely Cindy G, for the holiday Chris Mace, for the Archangel James Hubert, and of course, for Mark Reviews, I'm just your simple man, Noah Foster. This has been just us, Simplin, Predictin Wrestling. We hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell and know when the next video goes live on this channel. And until the next video, take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure the moments you have with your loved ones. Find some wrestling to enjoy too. There's more of it than ever. And until next time, I hope you all enjoy Wrestle Kingdom. And have...
Woohoo!
Cheers, y'all.
And Chris, I'm taking that title.
Never. It's mine. It's around my big sexy waist. Nobody else's. You can't have it.
And on that note, we just went from wrestling to Lord of the Rings. We're done. Bye.